Well, it's not the worst. Jonah Hex, released in June of 2010, directed by Jimmy Hayward. Don't know who that is. Production budget of $47 million, a domestic take of $10 million, foreign take of $356,000, for a worldwide total of $10.9 million. That's like a loss of $36 million, not including marketing and associated costs. Starring John Malkovich, Josh Brolin, Megan Fox, and Michael Fassbender. Let's have a look. Okay, characters. Well, it's really down to two. It's Jonah Hex and Michael Fassbender's random Irish villain. Now, Jonah Hex, in this, he is a very dour, serious, ugly, both internally and externally sort of character. He is a very dangerous man. He's a hardened pseudo-undead bounty hunter. He's your ultimate anti-hero. Enjoyable to watch him on screen, but eventually he becomes kind of bland. He's very Batman if you manage to go and take all of the charisma out of Bruce Wayne. Fassbender's character is a charming psychopath, a bloodthirsty, murderous lunatic. But he does it with such a smile and a swagger and a style to him that it's quite compelling. He's the only actual standout charismatic character in the whole movie. Due to the very dull greys and browns and dark muted both colors and characters in this film, he really glows. Malkovich's character, this guy, he, as the lead villain, was this menacing, understated, underplayed, terrorist. And he's very understated, like I said, very underplayed, also like I said, and very grey, very background, very just there. He is almost scenery. Neutral. He was running in neutral for most of this film. Megan Fox's character, she is the prostitute that has fallen for Jonah Hex, and Jonah Hex is as close to affectionate to her as he is to anyone. She's tough as nails and also the weakest link. You could have replaced this character with any other character. In fact, she didn't need to be in this film. There was no need for this character or for Megan Fox to be in the movie. She was literally there to be kidnapped and rescued. That's it. If they'd made her like a contemporary of Hex's, maybe a former bounty hunter partner or something like that, making her an equal, a contemporary equal, would have been much more interesting than the damsel in distress, lady of the night routine. That just dragged everything down. So character score, look, they're not bad characters. They're just wasted characters. And when the most charming person is the sub-villain in the movie, got an issue here. Hex is good. Hex is meant to be like that. But you're also meant to buddy him up with people to give his character a bit more shine. That's the trick of this sort of thing. But as it is, characters are going to get a 2.75. Funnily enough, if it was just Hex and Fassbender's character, the movie would have been probably a lot more interesting. But as it is, yeah, 2.75. Just didn't quite get there. Story is interesting. Story is a vengeance story. We've seen that before. It's a vengeance story set in the Wild West? We've also seen that before. It's a vengeance story set in the Wild West, so to speak, with a not-quite-undead bounty hunter. Haven't seen that before. The fact that they made his ability to speak to the dead, to basically bring them back to life just long enough for him to talk to them when he touches them, that gave the story options that you don't normally receive. They made this supernatural ability of his key to the storyline. They didn't waste that. They didn't squander this in a couple of cool shots and that was it. Really condensed version of the story. You got a good guy, Hex, working for a bad general, Malkovich's character. Hex makes a decision to stand up for what he knows is right. It costs him everything, his family, etc., etc. Bad general is off to form his little crusade to keep the war going, doesn't want the unification, and he's intending to blow up Washington? A very important party in a very important place on the 100th anniversary of America. Hex is recruited by the president himself to go and stop Evil Admiral. I wish I could remember his name. I just can't. Hang on. Turnbull. Quentin Turnbull, the evil general. And Fox's character is Lila. There we go. Anyway, Hex is off to stop Turnbull, as well as incidentally and pretty much accidentally rescue Lila. Exposition's a little on the nose at times, but it's generally well disguised. And when they're going heavy into the exposition and heavy into the setup, they do a lot of jump cuts and flashbacks and crossovers. They keep you occupied, so you're not just literally listening to someone discuss their evil plan. But then it would pick itself up again by going into the Witch Doctor story, getting into the mysticism and the magic of this world that they've set up. There's one particular scene where they really showcased how Hex never dies. And the answer is he dies a lot, but they keep bringing him back because his soul is trapped between worlds. My only real complaint about the story is its overuse of one particular MacGuffin, which is a super weapon that Turnbull's got his hands on for the schematics and is assembled, and they build up to this particular toy that he's got, and it's just this one thing. All right, it's this big box of Dragon Balls that infuriated me because every time it turns up, I kept wondering why and how and what. They never explain why they got the mystical box of glowy balls and why they do what they do, and it's just there and there's no reason for it to be there. They don't give you the reason as to why, and the loose information that you get from watching it work also makes little sense. It just bugs me every time I see it in the film, and you see it a few times. Just annoying. So yeah, for story, I'm going to go ahead and I'll be giving this one, look, I'm going to give it a 3. I was going to go with the 2.75 just because of some of the problems in it. But at the same time, their take on it and what they do well, what they do right, they really do right. And I quite liked it. There were some bumps and lumps, but that's to be expected, to be honest. But I think I'm going to stick with giving the story a 3. Yeah. Look and feel. Okay, let's focus on what's really good to begin with. They kept a certain style and aesthetic throughout the whole movie, apart from these, and it worked really quite nicely. There are some scenes you could smell. Your brain is seeing enough information that you can imagine the odor. The weapons were cool. Even when they were getting a little bit silly, they were still very cool. They still looked of the period. One of my favorite weapons is the hand crossbow that launched dynamite sticks. That is an insane idea. I really like it. Amazing crowd control. What really annoyed me though is then when he's finished using these wonderful toys, he just discards them on the ground. I hate it when they do that in animated series or TV shows or movies or computer games. You got this wonderful weapon. All you have to do is collapse it and holster it and you can use it again later. But no, they just chuck it on the ground like it doesn't matter. You're literally handing over a very cool piece of tech to the enemy. All they have to do is walk in and go, what does this do? Or, hey, I survived that fight. I know what that does. I'll be keeping that. Sell it, stash it. Never ditch it. Come on. Scenery's good. Settings are good. Apart from when they're in the capital. I'm assuming it's the capital. Some of the CGI to make that look like what it's meant to look like is terrible. I mean, at times it's really good. Usually it's a long shot or a sunset shot or something like that. But when he's walking around in it, going past some columns that just look like they've been copy-pasted, there you go. And on the topic of CGI, it is every now and then creepily well done. And then it's rubbish. It bounces from great to rubbish fairly often. You get to move along fairly soon after it, but you can remember the scenes where it sucked. Oh, and darkness. Okay, film it in the dark. Like to the point where at one stage, I'm just looking at a black screen with a couple of reflections. Is it my screen? Do I have to adjust something here? What? Why can't I see anything? What's he doing? No one knows. No one can tell. That was a bit much. I mean, atmospheric, sure, but to the point of you've lost the viewer because you're trying to figure out if your TV's busted. So look and feel, okay, I want to give it a 3, and for some parts of it, I could go higher. However, the stupid damn Dragon Balls, some unnecessarily bizarrely bad special effects, or just lack of visibility, really do mar this film. Look, I'll be giving Look and Feel a 2.75, because as good as it is, and it is, like I said, frequently very, very good, when it pops you out of the movie, it's quite jarring. Script and dialogue, well, I am shocked. Shocked, I tell you, at how little that irritated me. I was expecting trash. I really was. From everything that everyone told me, I was expecting trash. I didn't get trash. I got a fairly well done script. I got a fairly well presented script. Everyone's lines were quite well done. Brolin kept character the whole time. Brolin's character was great. I loved his delivery. Even Lila, who had no real business being in the film at all, her lines weren't bad. Her lines made sense for her character and the type of character that decided to make her. They weren't inspirational, they weren't spectacular, I can't really tell you any of them. They weren't jarringly terrible. In fact, no one's lines were oh wait, the president at the start, the way that his interaction with his aides and everything else, that was very forced. Hex has the only funny lines. I think there's only 3 funny lines in the movie. Only 2 are really actually funny, and even then they're only funny because nothing else is. So it's funny by comparison, how's that? It's just a shame that the majority of the delivery was deadpan and reserved. Thankfully, Brolin is quite a good facial actor. He can deliver a lot with just the way he's looking and the tilt of his head as well as what he says. He's got the Clint Eastwood squint going on in this as well. Very heavily influenced by Clint Eastwood movies, I think. Oh, also Hex's trademark is everything is on fire at the end. I'm struggling with script and dialogue here because there's nothing inherently wrong with it. It was just very... I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Because it's not dull, it's not pedestrian, it's not boring. It's just not shiny, sparkling, crisp. I don't know. It doesn't make me want to watch the movie again. How's that? So look, for score, I'm going to end up giving this a 2.75 purely out of frustration and indecision as to why I can't pick what's actually wrong when actually it felt mostly right. This is going to bug me until I figure it out. I am going to be mulling this over in my head probably for days now. Fun factor. I don't regret watching the movie. I just think it could have been so much better. But then again, I don't know how. Would I watch it again? Probably not. Although I may be doing it again just because I want to figure this out. I'd be keen for a reboot. How about that? I'd really love to see this get remade and brought into the current DCU, really? How about remade as a really good standalone? I'd love to see that. But on the whole, yeah, fun factor. This is going to get a 2.75 because it's a very confused, I don't know. Okay, so final score, you add all these up, you get yourself a 14. And now I can understand why my friend Phoenix was mad at me. I imagine for her analytical brain, much like my analytical brain, the fact that you don't know why you don't like something is very frustrating. This is the part where I should apologize to Phoenix, but I can't really because I'm not that sorry. The look on your face when you came back into college was quite funny. Would I recommend this to people? I don't know. Maybe. Anyhow, that's my review of Jonah Hex. Hope you had some fun. Please comment down below or on the Facebook page if you've seen this movie and what were your thoughts about it. Please like, share and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers because I really want my own YouTube link. Anyhow, I hope you're having a great week. Hope you're staying safe and to make some time to watch a movie.